Hey everyone, Sarah here, and today I wanted to do a video that is like really different from the general style of videos that we do on this channel. I mean, any of you guys that are a part of the channel, you guys know that my main thing is like card games. I think we've been doing uploads on this channel specifically from like Legends of Runeterra and like I don't even know at this point like what's on the channel, but like we've done a few different games and a couple NFT games, and I just kind of wanted to like I saw on Twitter a couple days ago for the New Year's, somebody posted something along the lines of like, if you have any kind of New Year's resolutions, you should make a video and record yourself doing it and just upload the video doing it and talking about that stuff. So I've been kind of thinking about that idea for a few days, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Um, so yeah, I don't know who's gonna watch this. Truthfully, this video is more for me than it is for anyone out here. If you guys do watch this, that would be awesome. Like I hope you guys are able to see this and get something out of that. But that's not really the main goal. The main goal is just kind of to talk about where we've been over the past couple of years, where we've been last year, and what we want to accomplish moving forward, I suppose, is the main thing. All right, so as you guys may know, I have been doing trading card games for like my whole life. I play all kinds of games: Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Runeterra, Hearthstone, all that jazz. I play all of it. And I've always wanted to be a really competitive player in all these games, and I think I am one of the I think I am a good player at these card games. I don't know. I don't think I'd say I'm the best. I don't think anyone ever is the best at anything. Um, I saw a meme the other day saying like, no matter how good you are at something, there's like an Asian kid that's better at it than you, and it's like it doesn't even matter. It's like whatever you do, it's just like I think in one of my favorite animes, Ping Pong, they say it even better, and it's just like no matter what you do, there's always going to be something better, and that's not even how they say it, but I'm just speaking in circles at this point. I don't know how you become the best at a card game, but like I definitely want to be one of the best for sure. Um, so that's kind of my goal. I love card games, and I want to get better at these card games. So let's talk about like the past year, because I feel like I'm just kind of rambling, and that's kind of what this video is gonna be. Truthfully, it's just gonna be a lot of me rambling into the camera, completely unfiltered, all that stuff. So the last year, what have we done the past couple of years? Let's go back even a little bit more, because I feel like I don't know about for you guys, but for me, like after the pandemic started, it feels like we've entered like an alternate reality, and like we've got this like pandemic reality that we now live in, and everything that's happened there. It's like not that it's an alternate reality, dude. What am I even talking about? It's complete nonsensical what I'm saying, complete nonsense. But basically, it's like that. It was a major life event that like kind of for some people like pivoted where you were going. I guess I don't even know if that makes sense, but for me, it allowed me to pursue writing in Legends of Runeterra. I played a lot of Legends of Runeterra during the pandemic, and I was working for Tempo Storm during that time, and I was working as a writer and as a meta snapshot expert for Legends of Runeterra. And I feel like during that time, I was able to do quite a bit in that game. I was never able to reach rank 1, unfortunately, in that game. I peaked rank 2 in North America on the NA server. Playing Jinx Draven, discard aggro. There's a video of that deck on the channel. It was like one of the craziest decks I feel like I've ever built. And not that like I mean, it was because Poro Cannon came out, dude. No, everyone else was like fading Poro Cannon around when it came out, and I was day one playing Poro Cannon, and that's where I got that edge. But I don't know. What am I even trying to get at right now? I think during that time period, during the pandemic time period, I took a lot of time to like play Legends of Runeterra, write about Legends of Runeterra, and I also got to like learn about TFT, which I feel like TFT. I'm not great at TFT. I think I peaked in like Diamond in TFT. It's a really hard game, and what I feel about TFT is it's how do I even explain it, dude? I don't even know how I explain it. TFT is like this game that like when I was playing it, you know, like the meme, dude, the freaking the Gigabrain meme, is that it? I'm gonna pull it up on the screen real quick. But it's the Galaxy Brain meme, dude. It's the Galaxy Brain meme. I feel like TFT was really like a good opportunity to like kind of, I felt like it was like kind of the Galaxy Brain kind of game because it kind of expanded the way that you would think about probability and the way things would happen in the game. And while I don't think I was like excellent at that game, I feel like it was really good for me to like kind of learn that game. And dude, I don't even know where we're going with this video. It's actually gonna be such nonsense. It's kind of like one of the channels that I feel like I've learned a lot from is Alpha Investments. They're Rudy is one of my favorite like YouTubers on the planet, probably if not my favorite. Rudy he's just like a really knowledgeable guy, and just the way that he kind of talks into the camera all the time, I kind of want to like learn to take away from that. And obviously, if I do these more and more, hopefully my flow will become a little bit better than this one is, because this is just all over the place. But yeah. So what did we do? We talked about RuneZero for a minute. We talked about, I guess let's just talk about after the pandemic, right? So, while it was closing up, while we were in the ending chapters of that time period, right? That's when I became, so I guess this is like 2000, dude, what year is it already? It's like 2000, was it 2001 really when this happened? I guess it was 2000. The beginning of the year when like everything with GameStop happened. Yeah, that was 2001, right? Like, that was a really fun time period because I got into like the whole like GameStop thing, and I had a lot of fun with it. And even to this day, I still have some of my GameStop because I think, I mean, like, I have people that say like, oh, if you like bought into GameStop, you just like fell for the trap. I still believe that there's a valid thesis, and I don't think the short squeeze happened fully. And I think the actual like the vibes of that time period was really fun. I felt like it was a lot of like people just kind of wanting to engage in like things that are going to kind of give them some kind of like financial freedom from like, I don't know, just like the system that we have. It seemed like a lot of people were pretty fed up at that time period. And then after that, I became really interested in crypto and NFTs. And I guess that's the main meat and potatoes of where we're going with this video. Is like, over the past couple of years, I've gotten really interested in crypto gaming. And I got really lucky because years and years ago, somebody gave me a singular booster pack of Gods Unchained cards, and at the time that they gave it to me, I thought to myself, well, this is stupid. I'm not gonna want to do this. I don't see why any gamer would ever play. Like, why would I, a Hearthstone player, a Shadowverse player, why would I want to play Gods Unchained? And I thought it was stupid. But at that time period, I didn't understand the concept of like digital ownership the way I think I do now. And I think because I got that pack all those years ago, it kind of planted the seed for me to become interested and start appreciating that digital ownership. And I guess as 2001 went by, I got interested in different NFT games. You can look back and you'll see there's videos on Crypto Raiders and there's videos on Warriors of Aradina, and those were like the two games that I got really into. Crypto Raiders is now, they have completely stopped development. I even worked for them for a long time, and when they got rid of everyone, they got rid of me and they got rid of some of my coworkers. So a lot of the people that were working there just all of a sudden overnight just were no longer working there, and for me that was like a devastating time. That was early this year when I stopped working for Crypto Raiders, and that was really tough. That was a hard pill to swallow. I loved my job there. I loved being able to build a game that I felt like we were doing something, and it kind of, by the time it all came apart, I kind of realized like maybe we weren't actually doing anything here, and that kind of got me thinking a lot. Is like, as what I've been working on the past 2 years, is it like actually all a scam? And that was difficult, a tough pill to swallow and a lot to think through. I still think there's a lot I think there's a lot of real stuff in owning your stuff in games, in digital ownership in video games. I think owning yourself in video games is, in my opinion, the primary use case of cryptocurrency. I mean, there's also like obviously if you believe in like the whole idea of like Bitcoin being like peer-to-peer cash, and the way that it could like completely change everything, that's obviously a huge use case as well. But you know what? I'm a gamer. I play video games. I think just having your stuff digitally ownable is the real use case. I played Pokemon for years. Being able to own your Pokemon and be able to your prized Pokemon, your starter Pokemon, be able to trade it to somebody, that this Pokemon that you spent all this time with, you can give it to somebody. That is huge. That is so important. And that's, to me, the real important part of this like this on-chain everything. Just being able to have your stuff, have it not decay, not get destroyed, not get lost. That's so big. It's so crazy to me. Some people will just say like, oh well, like I have so many friends that they all have gone through the same experience as me. They play Hearthstone, where they can't trade their cards. They play World of Warcraft. They play all these games. They play RuneScape. And it's like, and they don't see it. And I don't understand why they don't see it. I don't understand why they think this whole space is a scam. And I get it to some extent, right? Like we have the past couple years, we've had Terra Luna, we've had FTX, now we have everything going on with Binance. Oh, dude, it's so much nonsense. Like even to this day, Tether still hasn't blown up. Like that's going to be another problem whenever that comes. So there's so much room for nonsense to happen, and that room for nonsense is why people think what we're doing here is a scam. And it sucks because I think there are real people really trying to change the way that games work, just from a fundamental ownership angle. Not the way the games actually play. Obviously, well, for Web3 for our genre of gaming to really take off, we need our own unique game that has unique mechanics that's never before seen, because that's what's going to bring people from Web 2 to Web 3 games. That's what's going to bring them over. But we could still, I don't know, dude. This is going to be all over the place, dude. There's some, yeah, I didn't write anything down what I wanted to talk about going into this. This is just all off the dome. I mean, it's just like, no, man. I think there's something so real going on here, and people just don't see it. But they're going to. They have to, right? Like, at some point, I feel like it has to become so obvious that people want to own their stuff, whether they realize it or not. And that's the funny thing, is people don't think they want to own their stuff. They're like, oh, well, I have all my Hearthstone cards. And it's like, and then you're like, oh, do you want to trade your Hearthstone cards? Be able to give your excess copies of Ragnaros to your little brother. Do you want to be able to do that? And they're like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? But all right, so I talked about Crypto Raiders and how that was just like a crazy letdown for me. And after that, I had the Warriors of Eridina stuff came out. I worked with another project, which I'm not going to name by name because I don't feel like doing that. But like this is a time period where I don't have a job, but I'm trying. At the beginning of this year, I guess I lost my job. I guess the beginning of last year, since it's now January of next year. But in 2023, of like March or April, something like that, that's when I lost my job at Crypto Raiders. And I was going from like, at that point, I didn't want to work in Web 2 anymore. I didn't, like, to me, I felt like this stuff is so important. I don't see myself working a regular retail job or a regular job and enjoying it whatsoever. So I just kept doing like trying to airdrop farm a little bit and just like trying to stay afloat with what I have, and just like trying to find jobs here and there. And then I started trying to work for this other project, which I'm not going to name their names. They told me that I was going to have a job there, and I started doing work for them, and I did work for them for like a month. And then at the end of the month, they didn't pay me, and then they like the person in charge just like said some incredibly nasty things to me. and that was like another blow. So like I had this blow from Crypto Raiders, and then I had this blow from this other place where I just had this miserable experience, and I had another interaction with the same group of people like another 3 weeks ago, and it's just like I don't understand why every time I have just miserable interactions with these people, but it is what it is. So yeah, where do we go from there? So during this time of me not doing anything, I wanted to really get into Warriors of Aradina, because to me, when I first started, I thought Crypto Raiders was a cool game, but I really liked Warriors of Aradina because that was an actual card game. So I wanted to lean into that. So they had a couple tournaments. I won a handful of tournaments. I won a couple $1,000s playing their game. And then after those tournaments, it seemed like things with Aradina really started just like imploding on themselves. And it's to the point where it's like, I don't know what's going on with the game anymore. I really want them to succeed so bad. I mean, like, obviously, I love the game. I think it's a cool game. I think it is a unique twist on the trading card game. I just feel like there have been a couple of mistakes that have happened with them over the years, and now it's just like, I don't know how you're gonna cross the finish line, but I really hope you do, and I want to help them cross the finish line. And I want to be an integral part of that game. I mean, during this year, I was writing articles on my own thing that I called Aradina Academy. A friend of mine, we started working on a project together for Warriors of Aradina, and for other card games as well. And we're not done with it. And hopefully this year we get to unveil that project. I would really love to do that, because me and this friend of mine have started quite a few things over the years, but we've never completed anything. And that bothers me, and I want to complete things. I want to get these things across the finish line, because I think that's very important. Because what's the point of getting something halfway there and then stopping? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And we hit so much. We're hitting so much stride. You know what? Nobody's even gonna watch this. So what we're working on is we're building a website just for deck lists and deck sharing for various trading card games, and just strategy for various trading card games. Something kind of like a Mobalytics for trading card games on Web3 specifically was my game plan. And I wanted to do that for Warriors of Aradina initially. And then I started getting a couple other ideas, because so now we fast forward to like October-ish, I guess, of last year. And we fast forward to there. And October-ish of last year, I get reached out to by Champions TCG on Twitter. And Champions TCG was building their game on Ordinals, and they asked me to do some stuff with them. And I didn't get back to them very quickly. I think they were like messaging me, and I kind of, in my mind, I just kind of like waved them off, because they said the game was on Ordinals. And at this point, my mindset is like, wow, I can't believe Warriors of Aradina is like struggling. I can't believe Crypto Raiders just got rid of me. I can't believe this other unnamed group just screwed me over like this. My mindset is like, all these projects are just going to screw me. Because that's what was happening. That's how it had felt at that point. So I didn't get back to the Warriors. Not the Warriors. I didn't get back to the Champions TCG people with much haste. And then like 2 months later, I think at this time as well, before the 2 months later, at this time I was also working in the family flower shop, just trying to get a little bit of money so I can just make my way through the year, because I'm sure like everyone else, unless you're in a very special section of people in, I'll just say like in the United States economy, but really it's just globally. Unless you're in a very special section, I think the large majority of people, if not everyone, really is struggling right now. This is a crazy time to be alive right now, I think. And that's just like crazy time to be alive. That's like a whole other topic of discussion. I don't know if we're gonna get into that today, but it's just like, dude, crazy things are going on right now. Really, like there are so many. Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna open up that can of worms right now. We're gonna keep this somewhat on topic, even though it's just nonsensical jumping back and forth. Where were we a second ago? Oh, so my mindset is just like, all these games are screwing me. And then also at this time period when Champions reached out to me, I was playing Parallel, which was this game is crazy popular as far as like Web3 TCGs go. I feel like Parallel is very popular, and it's like in my mind, I played all the card games, right? I've been around the block. I know what these games are about. I played Parallel. I played it a good amount. I thought this game freaking sucked. And in my mind, it's like, this is the card game that's pumping? Why this one? I don't understand why this one. But, I mean, that's a different... I guess that's another topic of conversation. So, I was playing Parallel at the time, and I was working, so I was like, I don't wanna... I was interested in playing Champions, but I was like really turned off that it was on Ordinals, and just really turned off about everything just in general, so I just put it on the back burner. And then months later, at the same time, I'm also looking for jobs on LinkedIn. Just trying to find something in Web3 gaming that I can do. Or even just, it wasn't just Web3 gaming, because at this point I was like, I need to find some kind of work. I was applying for jobs like social media managers and all kinds of stuff, seeing what I can do, just trying to find anything. And around December, so actually no, around November on LinkedIn, I got in contact with Knights of the Ether, and Knights of the Ether is a game that is being built on Arbitrum, and they're a card game as well, kind of like Slay the Spire, and I actually really like where they're going with it, and I reached out to them on LinkedIn, and it was the first nibble I had gotten, dude. I kept throwing out my rod, and it was the first time I got a nibble all year, and it took a handful. It took over a month, but eventually we were able to get somewhere with it. So now I'm working with Knights of the Ether as well, and at least that was like a little bit of stress removed from me and a little bit more faith restored in Web3, which I really believe in. And this whole time, while this whole just brutal year, at least for me, and I'm sure for other people, while this year is going by, I'm coping and telling myself dude, this is deep bear market. We're gonna get out of this, and it's gonna be stronger. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be hard, but we're gonna make it out of this eventually. And it kind of felt like a little bit like some light at the end of the tunnel with Knights of the Ether. And then within the same week that I was able to solidify working at Knights of the Ether, I also got an offer from Champions TCG as part of their content creator program, because I had seen them on Twitter, and they had already talked to me before, but I hadn't reached out to them. But then I saw them post something on Twitter. I don't remember what it was. I was still following them at that time, or something like that. And I saw them, and I was like, I never reached out to these people. Let's see what this is about. And I gave the game a shot. They gave me a shot, and the game is really good. Honestly, the game is actually quite fun. As far as TCGs that I played that are Hearthstone, Shadowverse, it was a good game, and it's still a good game. I don't know why I'm saying was. So I've the past couple months has just been me really digging into Knights of the Ether and Champions TCG, and just other card games as well. I feel dude, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, dude. I don't know what to make of it. The Bitcoin halving is coming up in a few months. The things with the Bitcoin ETF is also on the horizon. Politically, there's a lot of things going on. So I don't know what to expect to happen this year. I'm optimistic that we're going to go into a bull market this year, but I'm not entirely sure it's going to be so simple as just, oh, we're in bull mode all year. I find it hard to believe that that's the reality we're going into, just because I see there's so much struggling going on in the world, just for people, just in general with money. So I find it really hard to believe that we're just going to go straight into pump season. Obviously, it would be great if that happens, but I'm very skeptical that's the case. I don't know where was I going with that. I had an idea I was trying to articulate with that, but I must have lost it, I guess. Yeah, we've been going for 25 minutes. I can't imagine there's anyone actually watching this, dude. That'd be crazy. If you are watching this, uh, put in the comments quesadilla chalupa Taco Bell, just so I know that you're watching it. That'll be a throwback to Mr. Rudy. We talked about Alpha Investments earlier. He'll always, in his videos, he'll always say, "Oh, just put like stepsister Sundays or like something ridiculous in the comments," and people will say it, dude. Just so I know that somebody actually watched this far. That'd be crazy. So, so yeah, what do I think is gonna happen this year? I don't know, dude. It'd be great if we just go into the Bitcoin ETF and we just go into the halving, and then it's just we go into the end of the year and then it's pump season. That'd be like best timeline. But I feel like we're gonna chop. I don't know. I'm dude. I'm just a regular freaking dude. I have no idea how any of this stuff works. I got absolutely hosed in the last bull market. Like I didn't play my cards right at all. So don't take advice from me as far as that goes. I'm just the wrong person. It's just I don't know, man. So I guess we've looked at the past year. And I guess we're already starting to talk about this coming year, but I guess what are some goals that we have? Um I don't know. Obviously I want to keep doing well in card games. We have I've been doing a lot of tournaments in Champions TCG. I feel like I'm definitely one of the best players in the game in Champions TCG. It's a small pool right now. It's a small pond, a big fish, small pond. But I would like the pond to get bigger throughout the year and get more competition. And it seems like people are taking notice of the game a little bit more. Queues are popping a bit more often, I feel like, lately. So, yeah, maybe that could be something really great. That's something that I would really like to work forward. Um, I even like one of the really cool things about Champions to me is that they they have tried to get into a couple physical trading card shops, and they are already successfully in a couple trading card shops. So I would really like to see physical locations hosting Champions TCG tournaments where the prize is rare NFT cards, or I guess ordinals, not NFT, but that I think that would be really cool. Then that way you're kind of like, I feel like a lot of the issue with that people have with NFTs is like, oh well, it's just digital, it doesn't matter. Like I can just copy paste it or all that stuff. But I guess if you're having physical events happening not just in cyberspace, events happening in like flesh world, uh, in the meat dimension, I think we end up it ends up getting a lot better. I'm sorry, my I got a phone call which just distracted me. But if you can get into the physical world, things start clicking more, I feel like. So that's like if we look in the past year, like what Pudgy Penguins have done. I gave my family a whole bunch of Pudgy Penguins for Christmas. And it was for me it was a way that I can buy my family NFTs and give them a physical thing. But really it's the real goal is your oh, what's it called? It's a Trojan horse. I was gonna say the wooden bull. The Trojan. It's like a Trojan horse where you give them a physical object, but actually what you're giving them is the NFT, and that's the alpha. If you can get that Trojan horse going, I think that's how you can bridge into the physical world. That's how you get there. That's how you cross the finish line. That's what That's why I think these in real life events at card shops for Champions TCG could be really cool, and I would like to see that happen. As for what we're doing in with Knights of the Ether, that we're gonna have to wait about. It's not on me to say. I'm excited for that to be unveiled. I'm really excited for that. It's really cool. And I don't know. I want to do more. I want to get this website done with my friend so badly. I already know multiple games that once we can get Champions TCG going. I have multiple games in mind that I would want to branch out for. I want to do Warriors of Aradina if they can cross the finish line and release their game. This new game, which I don't know if they're gonna end up being successful or not, but it's called Storm Warfare, which they did like a tournament a couple weeks ago. It's like a World War II card game, a lot like Hearthstone. I thought that game was actually like way more fun and way more polished than I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be kind of a crappy game, and I'm not a huge World War II buff, so to me, I wasn't very interested in the lore of the game, but it was actually better than I expected. So I am hopeful that that game ends up becoming a little bit of something too. Maybe I can do some work with them. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to keep working on content. Like, I know the past couple of years we've taken a lot of time off of YouTube and a lot of time off from Twitch. But despite all that time that I've taken off, I have leaned hard into Twitter. To the point where in the past, not that it's such a massive number, but I think I'm at like 1445 followers or something like that right now on Twitter. 1645 followers. I am up. I think I'm up over, in the past 2 years, I'm up over 1,000 followers. For sure, in the past 2 years, I'm up over 1,000 followers, but I think it's even more. And you know what? For me, it's been a slow growth. You know, you see some people that like their new channels, their new accounts, and they just like blow up out of nowhere. And it's like, whatever, dude. I don't know how they can grow so quickly. They must know the tricks of the algorithm to some extent. That, or you know what? Maybe it's all fake, bro. Maybe these people, they really do buy it. I mean, obviously, it's not a maybe. There are so many accounts that they are buying their followers. They're botting their attention. They're doing all this. You know what? It might be slow for me, but it is all organic, and it is all through me showing up, me grinding, interacting with other people, and people liking the content that I'm putting out and following, and feeling it's worth following for. And you know what? It might be slow. It will be a slow grind, but I've seen it happen with my own eyes. There are days where something hits, something clicks, and it's just boom, another 50 followers. And then it'll be slow, it'll be quiet for a while. And then another good week comes by, boom, another 50. And like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, it's not steady. It's not a steady growth trend. It's like, it's, you know what? You know what I mean? And that's how it's going to be. And we've been doing this for, my goal was to get to 1,750 followers by the end of the year. And I really slowed down at the end of last year. I wasn't posting a ton, and a lot of the posts that I was getting weren't getting very good traction. But I'm still very happy with where we ended, because originally my goal was like 15, and we ended up crushing that. And then I extended the goal out to 1,750. But if I do that, dude, for just more years, like, as silly as it sounds, it's just, it'll keep slowly, that snowball will slowly keep spinning and keep picking up more snow, and it'll get bigger and bigger. And that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to position myself for what I think is like an inevitable boom of on-chain games, which I think card games will be, maybe not the core of it, but I think will be a large factor in it, because I feel games is the best application for blockchain, but card games are especially better than all the other games. Because already in physical card games, we already have this buying, selling, trading economy. So it just makes sense. It's like, it's games like, it's card games, and then it's games like RuneScape and World of Warcraft, where these games have real life auction houses, and people are buying and selling these things for gold. That's where this stuff makes the most sense to me, at least. But yeah, let's think. What else can we wrap this up with? Because we've already been going for over 35 minutes. I'm sure you guys don't want to keep listening to me ramble, or maybe you do. I don't know. I find it hard to believe, dude. Or the videos on this channel don't get a ton of views anyway, but it is what it is, dude. We're gonna keep grinding forward either way until something breaks our way, right? That's the game plan. So I guess the last thing, I guess, is just like real life goals. The pandemic, or I guess not even the pandemic. In the past 2 years, I guess last year it was a bigger issue. But I put on like a couple more pounds than I wanted to put on. The past year I shaved off 10 of those. I would like to shave off more than that. Just get myself healthier. I'm not near a gym, which I know is like a cop out. There's even like you can see there's a pull-up bar, and this is also another cop out. But and I'm not gonna go. I'll even reach over so you guys can see. One second. So it's like a cop out, but like I'm concerned about like I can't reach that bar. Basically, is the moral of the story. It's too high up. Even if I jump, I like barely reach it when I jump, and I'm concerned that if I jump one day, if I keep jumping and grabbing onto it, because that pole is held together in the center by something. It's not like a regular pole. It's really weird. I don't trust it at all. Basically, is the moral of the story. And I'm concerned that if I jump and grab it one day, it will just crack in the middle and I'll fall down and I'll like really hurt my ankle. I'm literally scared to use this thing. As silly as that sounds. So like I'll do running around the neighborhood and I'll do stuff like that, but it's not enough. When I was living in Manhattan, I was living upstairs in the family flower shop, just like sleeping in a tiny room. And when I was there, I was around the corner from a gym. I'd have to shower at the gym, and I would work out like every day, and I would like be there every day, and I really liked that. Like I felt great about myself during that time, and I want to do that, but here I just don't feel like I have the equipment. But that's just a cop out. I need to do more as far as that goes, and I think I am getting somewhere. Oof, excuse me. I think I am getting somewhere slowly, but it's just like you have to hold yourself accountable and make sure you're doing more and enough. And I guess that's what this video is about. Is kind of like a way for me to hold myself accountable to some extent. And then I guess the last thing I want to bring up is just like holding myself accountable. I have an issue, and I am a complete pothead. I smoke way too much weed, and this has been something that I've known is an issue for years. And it's just like this thing that's like I know it's a problem, and as I'm saying this, like I'm even thinking to myself after this, like I'm just gonna after I finish this video, I'm just gonna rip it from my bowl, and it'll be a problem for future me. But at some point, it can't keep being a problem for future me because it'll kill me. And I guess like I'm gonna die anyway. We're all gonna die at some point. But do I want to speed that up? And I don't know. And I've gotten a cough now. I have a bad cough. And it's just like it's getting worse, and I need to eventually stop. And I don't know how people deal with that kind of thing, I guess. Every year I tell myself I want to stop smoking. And then multiple times a year I tell myself I want to stop. And then at some point I'll like go a few weeks and I'll be good, and then I'll break it, and then I'll just go right back into being a pothead again. And I don't know how you break that, dude. I don't. It's just force of will. That's how you do it. It's sheer force of will. You have to say enough is enough. So I don't know for me when I'm gonna say enough is enough, but I need to at some point. And that, I don't know, I guess this is just like a public way of me saying that or something, because I've known it in my head for a long time. Is this video gonna change anything about that? Am I gonna go out after this and not smoke? I don't know. Probably not. Probably going to keep doing it, but I need to stop, and I don't know I'm just talking in circles. Yeah. I'll figure it out, I guess. It's a problem for future me, or it could be a problem for current me. I don't know. Yeah. Don't smoke, kids. It's a terrible habit. It's much harder to break than I guess I didn't smoke for so many years in my life. And then I met some friends and I started doing it. And like I don't know. At that time it wasn't like a big deal. I would never cough when I'd smoke, or like I wouldn't often. But now I do often and it's not good. And yeah. We all have our struggles and our vices, and like none of this is like even like real life struggles that matter. This is just like a mental issue, I guess, that people fall into this like the addiction of the hand to mouth, right? Or like the for me it's not even the hand to mouth because I don't really like smoking cigarettes or like joints. For me it's like the big inhale and the exhale, and that feels great. And there's obviously like if I'm saying it's just a big inhale and exhale, like I could just inhale and exhale more and that would probably help me get through it, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a struggle. It's been a struggle, but yeah, I think closing in on 42 minutes, I think we've gone I think we've done more than enough. I don't know what we actually accomplished here, what we're doing, but I think this was nice. I think talking into the camera for a bit and just kind of going over just life content rather than just metagame content and deck techs and stuff like that. I guess this is, I think, a good change of pace. So yeah, we're at exactly 4:20 now, 42 minutes, and we're gonna cut it off. Thank you for joining me. If any of you actually watch this, kudos to you. You're a Giga Chad. And maybe we'll do another one of these some other time. Good talks.